Hi students, now I will explain about reproductive health and I will also discuss about few diseases regarding reproductive health and therefore birth control and some techniques how to control that I will explain this class. The class is important for class 12. So let's start about the topic reproductive health. To explain this chapter, I have written here 5 diseases regarding reproductive health, and also I have written here STD. Now, what about STD? STD means sexually transmitted disease. Means the diseases which can transfer easily with the help of sexual contact. That is sexually transmitted disease. So 5 diseases, 5 important diseases I have written. Those are ultimately due to sexually transmitted disease. Number 1, that is the disease known as syphilis. What do you mean by syphilis? Actually, the disease causes ulcer in the affected region, just like in mouths, in fingers, in our legs, in our hands, especially in our skins. On our skin, there will be just like ulcer, formation of ulcer. That is the indication of syphilis. Now, what is the causative agent of syphilis? The causative agents of syphilis I have written here. That is Treponema pallidum. So Treponema pallidum is a causative agent. It is a bacteria helpful to cause the disease, that is syphilis. So the bacteria is harmful to us. Ultimately, when it will enter in our body, it will spread the disease, that is syphilis. So what is the symptoms of syphilis? I have also written an ulcer formed in genitalia, rashes, swollen joints are found. Just like there will be rash, there will be very much pain as the region will be swollen, especially joint portion in our body, and also in our face, in our fingers, as well as in genitalia. So genitalia is a main portion where it will be the in the genital parts in our body. In the genital parts in our body, there will be the rashes as well as there will be the ulcer. So primarily it will form in our mouth, in this region, and therefore easily it will spread. So that is very dangerous disease. It may cause due to sexual transmission. So due to sexual intercourse, if any person affected by syphilis, if any normal person do sexual intercourse with her or with him, therefore it will spread easily. Now, how can you prevent it? So first of all, prevention, that there will be the sexual obstruction, ultimately the person which is affected by syphilis. So primary suggestion, not to attempt sexual contact with her or with him. And the secondary concept, that is we can use some medicines. Doctor can prescribe this kind of medicines. I have also written here, just like penicillin Z2 for 2.4 million UMI. So benzathine, penicillin, these kinds of medicine we can use to prevent that disease. So from this portion, syphilis, especially symptoms and causative agent is very important. Next, I will tell you about gonorrhea. All of you also, I think you heard this term gonorrhea. So what about the gonorrhea? What about the disease and how it will spread in our body? So these are some portion regarding gonorrhea. So now I will tell you that the gonorrhea, that is the disease caused by also the bacteria. Neisseria gonorrhea is the main bacteria caused by that is the disease caused by the that is the gonorrhea caused by the bacteria. Now what about the symptoms and what about the prevention in gonorrhea? In gonorrhea, the symptoms are totally different. Generally, in males and in females, these are different symptoms. From males, what will occur with the help of urethra, sometimes poos or any other liquid will come out, as well as some bloody mucus sometimes, and also similarly in female body also it will occur, just like in female body also it will occur bleeding, in the irregular menstruation cycle suddenly pause, and the middle of the menstruation cycle irregular bleeding will occur. Similarly, from the urethra there will be secretion of poos and any other the liquid will secreted from here. So ultimately from urethra in the female body as well as urethra from the male body, and the vaginal vagina of the female body irritate, it will be itching and there will be the infection. That is the reason caused by the bacteria. Now how can we prevent it? We can easily prevent the disease ultimately in primary stage with the help of some antibiotics just like penicillin, streptomycin. So we can prevent the disease only in primary stage. Secondary stage we can't prevent the disease, especially gonorrhea. So we can prevent only in primary stage. So you can apply penicillin, streptomycin. So these are some medicines, especially you have to prevent these bacteria. Next is AIDS. You know, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome is a very easy common disease caused by HIV virus, human immunovirus. Ultimately, due to HIV virus, you know, it spreads and after all it will affect in our immune system. So the symptoms is, first of all, after a few days there will be weight loss, our immune system will break down, and there will be tiredness, headache, fever. These are the some symptoms regarding the disease AIDS. Now how can we prevent? To prevent the disease of AIDS, that it is caused by virus. These two diseases caused by bacteria, AIDS caused by virus. So we can prevent this disease with the help of few medicines, and uh, we have to isolate that patient from sexual contact, by which we can easily prevent. But it is in primary stage, we only in primary stage we can prevent, in preliminary stage, but in secondary stage we can't prevent this disease. Next is the disease, that is hepatitis. You know, due to the disease hepatitis, the virus, hepatitis virus is mainly responsible, and there are many kinds of hepatitis: hepatitis A, hepatitis B, hepatitis C. So you know, hepatitis B very important, especially hepatitis B is dangerous to us. Also hepatitis A also, and due to hepatitis, you know, our liver affected. There will be symptoms will be cirrhosis of liver due to hepatitis, and inflammation in our liver, and due to, as liver is our digestive glands, so digestion, there will be the problem in our digestive system due to hepatitis. And you know how we prevent that the disease means, if you want to prevent, you know, already we have hepatitis vaccine. So if you apply the vaccine, hepatitis virus vaccine, so you can easily prevent it. So with the help of hepatitis virus vaccine as well as IgG, in case of IgG, immunoglobulin G antibody is also important to prevent the disease of liver of cirrhosis, that is liver hepatitis. Next is genital herpes. Genital herpes also caused by the herpes simplex virus, and due to this disease, you know, there will be fever, headache, itching, so ulcer over external ganglia, genital parts. So these are the symptoms in genital herpes. Similarly, as these are the genital herpes, so with the help of few medicines we can easily cure, we can easily prevent it. So from these diseases, ultimately learn about the causative agent, whether they are virus or bacteria or protozoa or any kind of microorganism, as well as learn their symptoms. So these are very important portion. Now I will tell you next topic, that is birth control. So next topic, that is birth control. Now what is the needs of birth control? What is the requirement for it? So number one, for food, education and unemployment, pollution, natural resources and pregnancy. So that is the reason we needs birth control. Now how will you control it? So we can control it in different ways, just like promotion of education, marriage law, then family planning. So there are few terms, few points to maintain birth control. But here I will tell you about barrier methods. Barrier methods is very very important. You know, we are sometimes used to avoid sexual contact, means in during sexual intercourse, but fertilization will not occur. To prevent it, we can use condoms. Also in female condoms, also we are using diaphragm. So that is the barrier that helps to prevent the hormones, means the sperm will not enter into female fallopian tube. That is the reason. That is number one, diaphragm, condoms. That is the reason. And the next one that I will tell you, some, you know, some take some surgical methods are there. So among two surgical method, I will tell you about tubectomy and vasectomy. So tubectomy and vasectomy is very very important. What about vasectomy? What about tubectomy? Ultimately, vasectomy used in males, where tubectomy used in females. Why? Because vasectomy, with the help of vasectomy, you know, in male reproductive system, I told you about sperm duct. So we can easily cut the sperm duct, because sperm duct helps to carry sperm from testis to urethra. So if you cut the sperm duct, ultimately the sperm will not come into the urethra. So during sexual intercourse, after sexual intercourse, the sperm will not ejaculate here. So that is the way by which, if we segregate the sperm duct in the middle portion, so after all the sperm duct, it will not continue, and after all the sperm will not come into urethra. This surgical way to avoid fertilization, that is vasectomy. It is applied in male body, and it is permanent sterilization. And permanent sterilization in female body, that is tubectomy. Similarly, if I cut by the surgical method fallopian tube, so you know, if we cut fallopian tube, then the ovum will not come, it will release from ovary. Ultimately it will not release into come into fallopian tube easily, because if you cut the fallopian tube, it will be discontinued. So after all, fertilization will not occur, or the sperm will enter, it will not come into fallopian tube directly, because there is some discontinuous way. So that is the way, that is in female body we use tubectomy. So these are the surgical methods to avoid fertilization. Next is contraception of medical termination of pregnancy, MTP. Medical termination of pregnancy, MTP, nowadays is very very important. You know, suddenly if fertilization will occur, but the couple, they don't want baby just now, but suddenly in female body, ultimately pregnancy occur, but they avoid it, they want to avoid it. So what they will occur, so we go for, you know, abortion. So that is the term that is regarding it, that is known as medical termination of pregnancy. So with the help of MTP we can easily do it. So it has a time 12 weeks for abortion. So after 12 weeks it is illegal. Actually doctors, they will not do it, but abortion actually occur within 12 weeks from the birth of the embryo. And you know, there are few methods. First of all, if it is 2 to 3 weeks, so with the help of medicine there will be abortion. The female will take medicine, and therefore from this miscarriage, there will be the miscarriage. From the urethra the baby will come out, means the embryo will come out so easily, and it will die after all. So that is the oral way, in with the help of medicines. But in surgical way, means when it is approx more than 8 weeks, so with the help of surgical way, doctor can easily segregate the embryo, and after all it will be the abortion. So that is MTP. It is very very important for you. Next I will tell you about amniocentesis. Already I told you about amniocentesis. You know, amniocentesis means to collect the amniotic fluid from you know, after the formation of the embryo there will be the formation of amnion, and within the amnion there will be the amniotic fluid. and if we collect the amniotic fluid, we can easily determine that the would-be baby, is there any chromosomal aberrance, chromosomal disorder, as well as we can also determine the sex of that embryo. So that is the process, that is amniocentesis. Already I explained it in my last class, means regarding cleavage, I think. So after amniocentesis you have infertility. You know, in infertility two terms is very important. One is GIFT, other one is ZIFT. One is GIFT, other one is ZIFT. Now what about GIFT, what about ZIFT? GIFT means gamete intrafallopian transfer, that is gamete intrafallopian transfer, and ZIFT, that is known as zygote intrafallopian transfer. So it is gamete intrafallopian transfer, it is zygote intrafallopian transfer. What do you mean by zygote intrafallopian transfer or gamete intrafallopian transfer? So with the help of ZIFT, suppose what occur ultimately in female body, if in female body after all ovum is not releasing, so we can collect ovum from ovum bank, and therefore from the male we can take sperm, and in the outside there will be the fertilization. After that the fertilized egg we can inject into the female vagina, and therefore it will be implanted, that is zygote intrafallopian transfer. Similarly gamete intrafallopian transfer means same. If the male, in case of male, if the sperm will not produce but the female, that is working, so we will collect egg from the female, and therefore we will take sperm from the sperm bank, therefore there will be fertilization. After fertilization we will inject the zygote into the fallopian uterus of the female body, and you know, after that with the help of vagina, when it will injected, so it will be implanted into the uterine wall, so it is also gamete intrafallopian transfer. So these two terms are very important. Now I will tell you IVF, in vitro fertilization. In vitro fertilization is very new technique, you know, and is a very important technique. In vitro fertilization, we will say that test tube baby. Why it is test tube baby? Why it is in vitro fertilization? So that I will tell you. IVF, in vitro fertilization. Actually, what will occur in vitro fertilization? The zygote will form into the test tube. That's why we say that it is in vitro fertilization. Suppose A and B, and A is male, B is female. Therefore, A will give sperm and B will give ovum, and they both are okay. But B means the lady don't want to carry her baby. Maybe some problem. So the B don't want to carry her baby, but B and A, they both want their baby. There will be also another person, that is C, and she is also female. So doctor will take sperm from A and doctor will take ovum from B, and therefore there will be the sperm and there will be the ovum, and after all into the test tube doctor will keep the ovum here, and also they will add sperm here, and the sperm will fertilize the ovum. Not only one sperm, just like more millions of sperm they will enter, and only one sperm will fertilize the ovum, and in the test tube there will be the nutrient medium for their growth, and in the test tube there will be the formation of zygote. Therefore the zygote will implant. So what will occur here? So that is in the test tube the zygote will form, and that zygote will be injected into the vagina of the person C. So here C will carry their baby. So the parturition period will occur in her body, and after the delivery of the baby they will take their baby. So after all the function of C, she helps to carry their baby, and after all in her body the baby will grow. She is known as surrogate mother. See, here she is known as surrogate mother. She is just carry, she will just carry their baby. So that is the reason that is known as surrogacy, and that is in vitro fertilization. So after all, just like what will occur, actually she will take some monies due to due to do this kind of jobs. So ultimately the baby will be for A and B, but ultimately C will carry their baby. That is the reason. So that is in vitro fertilization. Thank you, students.